we had a play that we liked a lot. And being on the road, don't give very many opportunities like that to try to put the game away. So that was the plan. Like I said, we just had a great play. And we were confident in it.
What's it kind of feel like? I mean, you would have liked to have gone to the national championship, but your program said, here, get to this point and maybe set a bar for the years to come. What kind of, get to this point and do the things we're going to do?
Yeah, we're really proud. Just have to put in the word right now. It's just so soon, But we're really, really proud. And when you experience failures like this, it just motivates you to work even harder. And we had the same feeling at the end of last year. We had it last year with a loss as well. And I think that really jump-started us into our off season. So we're just going to learn from this because that's all you can do with failure. And Coach was talking about it earlier, talking about how this UC Davis team is one of the best teams that's ever gone through the university, and that means a lot to us.
Keelan, when you guys are down 28-21, we get the ball. What was working well on that drive? What was your mindset to try to take the lead back?
Mindset was just the same thing it's always been, just play our game. We knew we would have opportunity to go down there, but we just executed. We'd be able to score some points on that drive, and we were able to execute, and we were able to score some points on that drive. They were great defense. And
when McPherson breaks that tackle and scores a touchdown, what's going through your head?
It's time to go. There's no other choice. We have to bounce back and see what we can do on offense the next year. So, they're a hell of a team, and they just made a lot of the play when they needed to.
Ulonzo, in that first quarter, they were getting so much penetration, you guys couldn't really get anything going, but then you got loose in the second quarter and the third quarter. What were you seeing? What was making those creases for you?
Just offensive linemen, they did the thing, and they opened those holes up for me, and I just did my job and hit them.
Jake, it seemed like whenever you needed a play, especially third and long, you go to Keelan. What was helping him get open, and why do you feel comfortable going there?
Well, the biggest thing going into this game is we wanted to be able to identify what coverage they were in, specifically on third down, and we had a lot of, third down calls specifically for what they were doing, whether they were playing man or zone, and once we got a key on that, we had to design plays for Keelan all week to expose whatever their defense was doing. So, and in a game like this, in a big game, you always want to go to your best guys. And Keelan has been that for me for the past 2 years, and there's no way I was going to go down without feeding this guy.
You guys were a minute away from winning this game. I was last with a blowout last time. What did you see? What were you able to do this game that made it such a good game?
We just went back and watched film and learned from the first game. The first game where our tempo, I think, in a way, got the best of us. They were bringing some pressures and adding guys late that caused us to, cause some negative plays. And this time around, we tried to slow it down a little bit. And like I said, we just wanted to identify what their coverage was. And we felt like once we could communicate the protection and the run scheme, then we had a fair shot at it. And I felt like our game plan was great. We did the best job we could. It's never perfect. A good team will cause you to make mistakes, and unfortunately, like you said, we were just 1 minute away.
And you guys have been pretty clean offensively as far as turnover and stuff, but Eastern seems to be the team that able to get you an interception and fumble and stuff like that. What's it about that with Eastern's defense that's so troubling?
That's what great teams do. We cause a lot of turnovers as well, and I just think that's the theme at this time of the year. There's only 8 teams left, 8 elite defenses left, and that's part of what great teams do, and you try your best to limit as much as you can, but at the end of the day, you got to tip your hat to these teams sometimes, and just try to bounce back from it. You're going to turn the ball over in these games, but it's just all about how you respond. I felt like we did a good job of responding whenever we did turn it over.
Keelan, can you talk about what this last year or so has been like for you, exploring the NFL, coming back, and then having this season?
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. obviously not, you know, we wanted it to end and everything, but, you know, I couldn't be more proud of my team. You know, one thing I told them before the game, I was like, win or lose, man, let's just put it all out there. And at the end of the day, if we can say we gave it our all, you know, that is what it is. And, you know, we did that. And like I said earlier, you know, they just happened to make the last play. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just us playing the best that we can. And you know, this team, like you guys alluded to earlier, was able to accomplish something that Davis has never done. And, you know, it's awesome to be a part of. And I'm glad I got to experience it with these guys. And I know the future is bright for them. They got great players still. And, you know, it's been a fun ride, definitely, and, you know, sucks couldn't keep going, but it's been fun.
Any other questions? Let's do now.
Part of it is just our style a little bit is to play to win, and I play not to lose, and to get on the attack, and we felt good about it. And so, yeah, part of it is philosophy, and part of it is strategy, and they both came together there.
How would you describe that play? It's like a reverse fly sweep. What do you call that?
That's exactly what it was.
What was Eastern able to do in your mind, just as far as that fourth quarter when they kind of took the switch and things going? What did you see?
Well, they're good. Got a great quarterback, good running back, experienced team, really solid on defense. Back and forth game. Back and forth game. Close game.
Yes. Go ahead, Ryan.
What did you think you had to do to kind of, like I mentioned before, you're a minute away from winning this game. Obviously, you shortened things up from last time. What do you think you guys were able to do to kind of wipe that margin?
Well, if you remember right, we turned it over a lot second half. I don't care what sport you're in, that's hard. 5 times the second half, that's, well, 35 points one way, it's 70 points the other way. So you got to clean some of that stuff up. But and you guys have been around sports long enough. Momentum's a big thing too. So sometimes it's hard to counteract momentum a little bit. But give them credit; they played hard, and you know, they're down a few guys, and they had guys come in and rally up, and that's kind of what it's about when you get to this time of the year. It's got to get your go tough socks on and get after it, because it's a long playoff. It's mentally and physically draining. So give them credit for hanging in there and getting it done.
What did you think Ulonzo found in the run game after the first quarter that helped him?
Well, he's really patient. Got great vision. I thought our O-line did a nice job, and we had a couple of wrinkles, you know, scheme-wise that were good. And then he had to kind of play maybe a little bit more when Teron got dinged. And but he's a good player.
What did you think of Keelan Doss is coming up with the catches he came up with in his
He's
last game?
uber talented. I mean, and for all that, he's just such a great kid. But he's tough to handle one-on-one. But he's, for everything you guys see of him physically, he's even 3 times that intangibly. But for him to come back and have faith in me and the program and UC Davis and our guys says a lot about him. But somebody will be lucky and get him next year, because he's going to add a lot, not only in the field, but he's going to add a lot in the locker room.
Any other questions?
Coach, just how would you sum up this season? So many firsts for you guys.
Yeah, it was magnificent in a lot of ways, and I told them, hey, the pain of the last game really is there's a lot of people that want to play it safe in life, and it's real easy to hang outside the fire and not feel the lows, but you don't feel the highs either. And I think the guy in the fire is the guy that feels it both ways, and to get a share of the championship, to get in the playoffs, to win in the playoffs, really sets a whole new standard for UC Davis football. And I happen to be one of the guys who was part of a program that ripped off 20 conference championships in a row, and went to the national championship, had a ton of guys drafted, went to the playoffs regularly, and I know what this place, this institution is capable of, and we have a lot of people helping us, and it kind of, it's like bamboo. I've never grown bamboo, but they tell me it sits in water for 2 years, and when it grows 40 feet in 1 year. So you have to take the lid off of what's possible in your life and not put limitations, but you have to back it up with work and sacrifice. And as I look around the room, in our locker room, you see so many guys who sacrificed and helped in so many ways. And I've said this many times, it takes a lot of good people to win a championship. It takes a couple to ruin it. And we have a great room of a bunch of great kids. We have a school that's magnificent and one of the best schools in the country and in the world. It is a major institution, 23 major sports. And you're going to see UC Davis keep climbing because it's an unbelievable place. And but we're happy to represent the Big Sky. And unfortunately, 2 of us went down this weekend, and hopefully Eastern can carry the flag. But it's a great league. We're proud to be a part of it. We also have a lot of guys in that locker room who will be back, including the tailback and quarterback you just talked to. So but that doesn't mean it all happened. We'll have to start tomorrow, building from the bottom again. That's the beauty of sport.